Our brain is the most complicated organ in our body, and yet we know so little about it. Over the last 100 years, brain scientists have used microscopes and developed many different types of technology to explore the structure and function of the brain further. Anatomists have identified nerve cells, or neurons, as most important cells in the brain and nervous system, but the supporting glial cells are equally important for the brain. Nobody knows for sure how the neurons work as a collective to manage the brain's amazing control of behavior, memory, or emotions. Even less is known how the supporting glial cells work. The human brain weighs 3 pounds, but we don't feel the weight as it floats in cerebrospinal fluid, and the body feels only about 2% of the actual weight of the brain, or 6/100ths of a pound. The brain is covered by 3 layers of coverings called meninges. From outside inwards, they are the dura mater, arachnoid, and pia mater. The brain and its coverings are enclosed in the skull. Brains have very complex structures, but grossly it has 3 parts. The cerebrum, or the cerebral hemispheres, consists of the major part of the human brain and is the newer part of the brain most developed in humans. Cerebellum, which is the older part of the brain first developed in organisms over 1 million years ago, and the brain stem, which connects the brain to the spinal cord. Neurons, or nerve cells, respond to stimuli and transmit signals. They communicate with each other, relaying messages throughout your body, empowering all your thoughts and actions. Neurons talk to each other using electrical and chemical signals. The message starts as electrical signals, called action potentials, and travel rapidly down a neuron. When the action potential reaches the gap between 2 neurons, called the synapse, the information is transformed into a chemical message. This chemical message can either be converted back into an action potential in a different neuron or can be silenced. With repeated activity, the synapse gets stronger, so the next message is more likely to get through. In this way, neurons learn to pass on important messages and ignore the rest. Using the latest brain mapping technologies, scientists have begun drawing detailed illustrations of these neural connections, compiling an atlas of the brain's communication systems, or the connectome. They help emphasize the roles of certain brain areas over the connections among them. Scientists are using many different novel imaging technologies like super-resolution microscopy and newer MRI, or magnetic resonance imaging technologies, to find out more about this connectome. The results of these studies are astounding, and the brain looks like a network of extremely busy signal highways where electrical signals are zipping past all the time. Scientists are already starting to use this knowledge to treat brain disorders. DBS is an example of a technology the scientists are using right now. A technique known as Deep Brain Stimulation, or DBS, uses electrodes surgically implanted in people's brains to tweak the behavior of brain cells. These electrodes produce electrical impulses that regulate unwanted electrical signals of the brain caused by brain disorders or diseases. The small battery to power the system is a pacemaker-like device placed under the skin of the upper chest of the patient. Electrode implants like these reduce tremors of Parkinson's disease as well as seizures. However, deep brain stimulation does not cure Parkinson's disease, yet. So far, DBS significantly improves motor symptoms, which improves a patient's function and quality of life. But we can achieve so much more in the future. By imagining what's ahead, we can remind ourselves how much we've achieved and what future scientists will bring us next.